What's up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to The Good, The Bad and The Stupid. It's Thursday the 20th of February. For those of you that are new, check out the YouTube channel as well as the podcast with all the videos and my lovely pretty face on every single one of them. In fact, I'm sick of looking at it when I have to go through them and edit it. I'm sick of looking at myself. I really am. First, it's quite weird actually doing this podcast because once upon a time, I couldn't stand the sound of my own voice and looking at my own face in photos or on videos or anything like that. And now, I really can't stand it, even more so. It's like, but I'm forced to do it. I've given myself the curse of like something that I really don't particularly like. And I'm having to, because I've got to edit the videos and I've got to cut them and I've got to fucking, you know, I try and make myself look as pretty as possible, but that's about as far as it goes. That's for you, not for me. But I'll never look pretty in my eyes, unfortunately. The mirror always lies, what's the word? The mirror always tells the truth. My mirrors, unfortunately. Never mind, let's crack on with what's going on, because you think I've got it bad. Prince Harry's been kicked out of Buckingham Palace, like he gives a toss. He's happy to be out of that place. They're saying he's been booted out of the palace from March the 31st and there will be no office for him after that. He can't wait to get the fuck away from that place. Everybody else talks about the Buckingham Palace like it's some kind of, you know, oh, it'd be amazing, you know, like as if they'd love to be a part of it. You'd fucking hate the place after being in there for, I bet it's about 4 miles just to go to a toilet, you know, or, you know, it's miles to walk everywhere. Like, oh, where's so-and-so? Well, I was in the drawing room, which is 3 floors down and 20 rooms across by 3. It's probably, you know, it's all stuffy as fuck. Everybody having to nod and like bow and all that kind of stuff. He ain't up to that, is he? He doesn't want that. And fair play as well, because that would just piss you off after years of that. I've said before, he's from the side. He's got half of Diana, hasn't he? So, and I think that side of him just wants out of the royal family and always has. So he's off to Hollywood. He's off to sort of mix it with the stars and fucking make millions of pounds off doing nothing. And he's still going to be Prince Harry, no matter where he goes. Doesn't matter. He can take. They're saying he's taking his titles off him. They're saying he can keep his HRH title, but he's agreed not to use them. He's Prince Harry wherever he goes. It doesn't matter. You know, and you know, if in that very rare occasion where somebody isn't going to want to let him in somewhere because they don't know who he is, he's going to go, do you know who I am? I'm Prince Harry, His Royal Highness, and that's where he's going to bang out the HRH. Of course he is. Anyway, he's off to make loads of money. That's all he gives a fuck about. And dossing, basically. I wish we could all do that. I do. I wish I could. I mean, if someone said to me now, could you, there's a vacancy going at Buckingham Palace, do you want it? I'd say no. I'm doing a podcast, I'm doing a video, and it costs. And I'm happy doing that in my small little world that I what's the word? I live in, let's say, which is very small. I might let you know, because not enough of you are talking about you, spreading the word. I'm joking. I can't rely just on this podcast. If I did that, believe me. This podcast will be off air as of right now. No. Anyway, I jest. Of course, we're on the up. We're on the way up. That's the only way this podcast is going, and the videos going this way, north, where the money is at the top. We've planted a tree. We've planted a seed. Anyway, Basil. Those of you who are not from this country, Basil Brush. He's no longer has delivered his last boom at Derek Fowles. I didn't know the guy's name, but Derek Fowles apparently was his compadre in the Basil Brush show. But he's done his last boom. He hasn't done his last boom. He'll be back out. Someone's going to take over. He said a final goodbye to Mr. Derek, and he he's a great character. If you haven't seen him, Basil Brush. That's Basil Brush there. He's a puppet. He goes boom, boom. I bet even half of any millennials don't even know who the fuck he is from this country. Anyway, he's a character from the days where puppets were all You know, like we had the Muppets, you had the Sesame Street, you had Basil Brush, you had Gordon the Gopher, Roland Rat. It was all puppets in the 80s, I'm telling you. And now we got fucking puppet. Well, the puppets are running the show now, and that's like Donald Trump and people like that, Boris Johnson. They're the puppets of today, so there's no room for Basil Brushes and all that because we've got too many comedy fucking puppets running the world. Anyway, I've spoke before Basil Brush. I bought a load of records to sell once, and I bought them blind at an auction, and I was going to flog them. But in there was one that was a fucking Basil Brush Christmas album, and it's like clearly one of the worst albums you could ever have in your collection. But I purposely left that for people when they were going through my records, and left it there on purpose as a joke, to let people pull it out, and word got around that I love Basil Brush, and Basil Brush's album, and I loved it. But I was like, no, I set that joke up. I'm the one who told that joke. Thank you. I don't love Basil Brush. I just like telling jokes, and that's why I left it there. So you know, I was the bringer about of my own bad fortune with that, because everyone like, you know, become the pub round the joke, the joke around the pub, should I say? Like when I walked in, where's Basil, Wayne? Boom, boom. Anyway, I'll find it sometime. I got it somewhere. I'll still pull it out. I still think it's funny because the look on people's face when they find it. You know, going through funk and soul. Yeah, it's all good. All of a sudden, what the fuck's this? A trucker found with cocaine worth nearly 1.4 million hidden under his cab's bed. Told police he had no idea it was there. Of course, case closed. That's it, free to go. Literally, you can put it on the police. Just say, look, mate, I've no idea that's there. If you've got no idea that you found it, how about we come to some agreement? That's the way I'd work it. You know, or worst case scenario, you take the lot and still you have got no idea that you found it. How about we do that? You've got to try it, haven't you? Last minute, it's your last chance saloon. But apparently 17 vacuum-packed wraps of the Class A drug was there when they searched his lorry. So what have they said? He was taking breaks in Belgium, but locked the cab each time he left. When officers asked, had he any knowledge of the drug, he said no. And the trial continues. I'd like to see how that one turns out, because it could very well, somebody could very well have left it in his cab or broke in and stuck it in there. Somebody broke into my van and fucking nicked it the other week, 2 weeks ago. So they could have done the same to me. They might have just done it and left the van there for me to come back and find it and drive it somewhere. Instead, they took the fucking van and left me on foot patrol for the past 2 weeks. Anyway, that's another story. But what was I going to say? Yeah, so we, you know, he could be telling the truth. It's a lot of coke. It's a lot of, that's a big sentence if he's not telling the truth. And if he is telling the truth, that's a big sentence all the more. So, you know, I just hope the truth comes out on that one. And, you know, he just gets a slap wrist or something. I don't know. He can't really sort of, it's hard to know, you know. I'm gonna leave it there. I've lost my fucking train of thought on that one, talking about my van getting nicked. anyway, just reffing. The footballer official Mike Dean has confessed he has sung the referees a wanker while watching his beloved Tranmere Rovers. So the ref, Mike Dean, yeah. So he basically goes to watch Tranmere Rovers. You'd think he'd have enough of fucking football, wouldn't you? When you're watching the games and being slagged off as a ref while you're there. Instead, he's back in the terraces and he can't wait to sort of dish it out. That's kind of a mental twist, that isn't it? He's that wound up. He goes, I bet the ref at his matches takes some right old shit off him. I bet he's calling him a wanker. I'm there, I've called him a wanker a few times when I'm watching it, and he's a massive fan and he's completely loses it. There's a picture of him there going like that. So imagine if the ref comes up and sends him out the stand, gives him a red card. Can you do that? Well, you can get the police down and kick you out, I suppose. But well, there you go. So you can't really moan really when he takes it, can they? If them refs take some shit off the players, let alone the fans, nobody likes them. It's like you've got to be you've got some kind of narcissist fucking tendencies. You got to like just think, fuck it, I'm the bollocks here and I'm running this show. I don't give a fuck about you. Don't give a fuck about all you lots out there. Don't give a fuck about all you lot on the TV and all you lot that hate me. Even when I go down the pub on the night time when the fans are in there and they're still shouting over you, cunt, my fucking TV, my team lost today because of you giving that decision wrong. You must get it left, right and centre, but the fact that they don't give a shit, and he clearly don't because he's back out dishing it the other way, so you got to have them. Somebody's got to be a ref, ain't they? It's almost like it's like an unsung heroes because they have to be there and they do a good job overall, but nobody likes them. Every game somebody hates you, one or the other. A dad has slammed his daughter's school for promoting fetishes. Daughter's 12, and they gave out sexual advice pamphlets to avoid teenage pregnancies. But some of the guides there's some of the things in there, but like sucking people's toes and proposing marriage and drive for 2 hours to see them for one. For one, what's the one? To drive for 2 hours to see them for one. Well, depends on what the one is, but basically the pamphlet's about 100 many ways to love somebody without actually having sex. Nibble their ears, buy them some nice underwear. This is for children in school. I mean, when I was that age, I'd have fucking loved. I thought that would have been fucking hilarious. We'd have pissed ourselves, but still, you know, it's not the kind of thing to be giving out to children, is it? Each suck one end of a long piece of spaghetti. Go on a love boat. This is advice that I need now, actually, saying that. I could do with some of this advice. I'm fucking terrible at the, you know, all the other ways to, well, most of us are probably, the other ways to have affection without actually having sex. Go on a love boat. Buy them a piece of the moon. I wouldn't do that. I saw a programme on that. That's about 100 quid. And it's a rip-off, because you can just get a piece of paper that says you own a piece of the moon, but you just own fuck all, really. And the guy's a multi-millionaire. That's a guy creaming it in. Buy a piece of the moon. I might even set it up, buy a piece of... What's the next planet we could have? Jupiter, Mars, whatever. It's endless. Buy a star. Just sell stars. It's just a piece of paper. I tell you what, I've just told you one of my good, amazing business ideas there. Don't get beating me to it. Tell them they are beautiful even though they look rough. That's what my mirror fails to do to me every fucking morning. It just says you look rough. And I'm like, oh, thanks very much. You could have lied to me. Could have given me a head start as I walk out the door, not a fucking kick up the arse. Where are we going? Right, time. Gemma Collins believes her phone is spying on her when she uses the toilet. She says she no longer takes her mobile into the bathroom as she believes it's listening to her bowel movements. And she said, this is not a weather warning, this is a serious warning, guys. Do not take your phone into the toilet. Somebody's listening, somebody's watching us. I can safely say now, if anybody was watching your phone, Gemma, as you took that into the bathroom, they would be fucking doing everything they could to turn it off or to turn off the system, blank the screens. We do not want to hear this. We do not want to hear Gemma Collins' bowel movements or Gemma Collins on the toilet. That's a fucking big no-no. Even Big Brother wouldn't be able to stand that. That would just fucking... What's the 1984 film? Everything would be... They'd shut the whole system down and it'd wait until 24 hours after you'd come out, like, or 14 days maybe, like a fucking coronavirus or whatever it's called. Is it safe? Safe to turn the screens back on? Can we just not ever entertain that situation ever again, please? Waking up and realising that it's Saturday is among the little things which make us happy. Especially when you do it on the other... Well, have you ever woke up on... what's the other things? A full English breakfast, getting through a string of green traffic lights. That's a good one. A flirty glance with a stranger. I'll tell you what, have you noticed whenever you're late, you hit every fucking red going. Every single red traffic light that's there to be had. And even when you're on green and it stays green, somebody will fucking stall their car or something or other, and then when they've got going again, and you go to go, the red light goes green, the light goes red, so you get stuck behind that twat. So always happens to me. A stranger, what is it? Flirt with a stranger, a cake in the office. That's for the fatties. That's for you fatties. A cake in the office. Also made the top 40. But yeah, Saturdays, waking up on a Saturday. Have you ever done that on a weekday, thought it was Saturday? Many of the times on my disciplinary hearings for being late for work, there's a few times where I've actually woke up thinking it was Saturday and I haven't set my alarm or whatever, and I'm like, fucking nice one, having a nice lie-in, and then I'm like, bollocks, it's Wednesday. Got my days completely wrong. I don't know how I did it, but I've even done it today, but I didn't have a boss to complain, but I woke up today thinking it was Friday, and I thought it was Friday till about 3 o'clock. So it was only me it was only me to answer to. So I corrected myself when I realised, after texting someone earlier on about they've got the Friday feeling, they must have thought I was mad. So yeah, there you go. That's a common problem for me. But it's nothing. Yeah, I don't mind waking up on Saturday. I work Saturdays anyway, so it doesn't really matter. But it's still a good feeling. Monday's still the shittest feeling, isn't it? I've tried my hardest to make Mondays a good feeling. Never works, even though I don't even work. I purposely don't set my alarm and don't wake up early on a Monday. Thought that would cheer me up. It don't, just makes me think, fucking hell, I haven't kick-started the week properly. Where are we going? JD Wetherspoons owner Tim Martin travelled to a seaside town in a battle to save its carpet. He's refusing to rip up the Barry Council in Wales blocked permission to use its crest on the pile. What? I've come out with that one without even saying it. I thought it was a dirty old carpet, and he's trying to save it from being ripped up. He's going, don't fucking. I love the smell of our carpets. I don't want them fucking thrown on the scrap heap. We're going to use them until the piss stain has till the piss smell has ran everybody out the pub. Apart from that, the piss smell is pretty much on par with everybody that's in the pub. That's we smell the same, basically. I think he's talking about a new pile that the council has refused him to use. The Wetherspoons councils are just fucking up their own arse, aren't they? Why can't he use his own label on his own carpet, for fuck's sake? This is ridiculous. Anyway, just put the old one back down. That's what we should do. Property was anyway. We're going to get. You can't beat the smell of a Wetherspoons. You know you're in a Wetherspoons when you walk in. A blind bloke knows when he's got to Wetherspoons. He probably just follows his nose all the way there. It's like a Bisto kid. The smell of the Wetherspoons toilets coming out. I'm not slagging off Wetherspoons. I like the place. Last one. What am I going to do? Last one. Where are we? No. A website has been set up for pooper snoopers to name and shame dog walkers who fail to clean up their pets. So that's for people who don't want to front you in the street and go and tell you, because an old person is not going to go up to some fucking big butch guy whose dog's doing his shit, and because he might end up getting a slap off a fucking guy. So they can name and shame and put them on the system, and they get £100 fine. So embarrassing. There's a lot of embarrassing things, but picking up after your dog shit and being put on the internet for people to share around Facebook and that's not a good one. That's not a pretty picture, let's say. For saying that, some of those shits that the dogs are doing, you got to watch what food you're feeding it, because some of them you just think, there's no way in the world I'm fucking picking that up. I don't care who's walking past. That one is just like that's a dripper. You can't pick them up, can you? Some of them. Anyway, last one I'm going to do. Is it the last one I'm going to do? Gizmo. Joe Dante. Oh, yeah. There's going to be a forthcoming Gremlins film. Remember Gremlins? That's years ago. Gremlins. But they're making a prequel. I'm not big on the prequels. Why can't they just make it afterwards? Because when it's a prequel, you know what's coming later, don't you? So it kills the buzz for me. It's like the Star Wars films now they're doing. Okay, you're getting like to see Han Solo in that again, I think. Or no, they've done the prequels. Now it's after, isn't it? Fuck knows, I'm confused. But But when it's before, you know, all them story that you've already seen is coming afterwards. So it just kills the. You like to know, like, be left blank, not knowing what's in the future. Is what I'm trying to get at. So this Gremlins one's going to be a prequel, but Gremlins was a good film anyway, wasn't it? When they're fucking multiplying. Secrets of Mogwai, I think they might be calling it. I think Mogwai and Gizmo. But they could have worked out a way of making that be an after one, and then they'll just have free reign then to run loads, do loads, and just fucking do a Gizmo thing and multiply in the film and start making loads and loads of money. They take too long with them, and the Matrix they're doing now, the Matrix sequel, that's an after one. Luckily, thank fuck, they're doing one later on with the Matrix, so that leaves it open for them to do more, doesn't it? A great film that was. 20 years, I can't believe that's gone 20 years. Fucking, if I waited another 20 years for, you know, I don't know how old I'd be pretty old at that time. But 20 years has flew by since The Matrix. I've said before, when they were filming it in Australia, we was there, and I could see, we was watching out the window of our flat, and we could see a helicopter flying through the sky with somebody hanging off the what's it called, a rope basically. There was two people and the helicopter was flying around. It was like, what the fuck's going on out there? My mate's filmed it on his thing, and it was The Matrix, that film, and we got it on a video camera. Well, I should tell my mate to put that on the internet as also as a what's it called, souvenir for the revamp of The Matrix or whatever. But Keanu Reeves, them John Wick films ain't bad either, so he's back in his stride. So he's making some good films again, thank fuck. Anyway, I'm going to leave it there. Hopefully you've enjoyed it, and I'll see you again tomorrow. See you later. See you later for now, bye.